Good afternoon, Dr. Guppy. My name is Ife Chukwudeme Maduka, aka Chooks, and I'm a second year biomed student. And today I'm going to be talking to you about type 2 diabetes and HIIT training, also known as high intensity interval training. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to grab a cup of tea, sit back, relax, and don't forget to social distance. So first things first, I just want to tell you that type 2 diabetes is very common in the UK. According to diabetes.co.uk, which can be seen in my reference list down below, around 4.7 million people have type 2 diabetes as of 2019, and it's expected that the numbers will rise drastically by 2030. Type 2 diabetes is basically a common condition where the blood glucose levels are higher than the normal reference range. And if you would like to see this reference range, please reference my reference list down below. Number 6 will give you the reference ranges that you need. So basically, the blood glucose levels are higher than the normal range due to two reasons. Number 1 is due to insulin resistance, and number 2 is due to beta cell failure. The combination of these two is what causes the blood glucose levels to rise inside those patients. So we're going to look at both of them in just a moment now. So insulin resistance is basically where cells inside your body, inside your pancreas, do not respond well to insulin. And it can arise due to a number of things, such as smoking, a poor diet, just simply having a sedentary lifestyle. That's why it's very important to undergo regular training, such as high intensity training, which we will look at in this video. There's also other types of training which my other classmates have looked into, so which includes stuff like resistance training and endurance training. So feel free to delve into there, just so you can really get a full experience of ways you can stop this insulin resistance from building up. So that's one thing that causes type 2 diabetes. The other thing that causes type 2 diabetes is beta cell failure. So what happens is the beta cell failure in the pancreas arises because the beta cells can no longer keep up for the high demands of insulin. So as a result, and a combination of that and the insulin resistance, which happens due to the sedentary lifestyle, you end up with type 2 diabetes, and you end up with a higher blood glucose concentration than normal. So that is basically, in a short summary, what happens. What causes type 2 diabetes. Now we're going to look at the symptoms. So the symptoms of type 2 diabetes could be low cardiovascular respiratory fitness. It could be urinating a lot, feeling tired, feeling thirsty. But if you would like, once again, if you would like more information about type 2 diabetes, please refer to the background information page written by Julian. Very informative, so I would really recommend you to do that as well. So now we've spoken about type 2 diabetes. You know the symptoms, you know the causes. Now we're going to talk about how can we actually stop it from occurring. So there's many ways to stop type 2 diabetes occurring. I wouldn't say many ways. I would say more like there's no treatment, but there is ways of preventing it and reversing it, basically. High intensity interval training is one of them. We've got resistance training, we've got endurance training, which I've said, check out my other classmates. They've really done a good job there, so definitely look at that. So, but in terms of me today, I'm going to be telling you about high intensity interval training. High intensity interval training is basically where you work at like maybe 70% of your VO2 max, basically. So what happens is that you work for high periods at a very intense pace, and then you have like a shorter period where you work at a low intensity. So it's basically high intensity plus low intensity mixing together, and it's very effective. There's a lot of benefits which I will discuss down below, where I've got case studies that I've researched upon. They've done their little investigations to see the long-term effects. But just a quick, so you have a little flavour of what's to come, I'm just going to tell you a few benefits right now. First benefit of HITT training is that you get to burn your calories, and that's very important, because another cause of type 2 diabetes is obesity. And basically what happens is you get fat around your organs, and it's known as intrapancreatic fat, I think. Yeah, it's known as something like that. And basically what happens is the fat builds up around the organs, which means it's harder for the pancreas to do its job. And if the pancreas can't do its job, obviously the beta cells perform poorly. If they perform poorly, it means that insulin doesn't get regulated properly, and bang, you end up with high levels of glucose, making you diabetic. So if you do HIIT training, you will actually burn a lot of calories, because you're working at your VO2 max. You're pushing your body to the limit. It's working hard. You know what I'm saying? The calories are burning down because it's high intensity, and you're already working at a high aerobic capacity. This is a great way for you to boost your endurance as well, because you're working at your basically maximum. You're going to extend that period of working at your maximum as well, which is very good for you. Another benefit of high interval intensity training is that it can be done anywhere. You don't have to go to the gym. You can do it in your back door. You can do it anywhere. It's easily accessible for everyone. You know, right now in a pandemic, gyms closed as well. So you can literally, in your back garden, in your living room, in your room, you can set up your own regime. It can be as simple as walking up and down the stairs. Maybe you walk up the stairs and then you run, and then it doesn't even have to be stairs. It can be literally jogging down a hill for like maybe 30 seconds at your fastest pace, and then after that you slow it down. You can really, with high interval intensity training, it's really flexible. You can really mix and match it to suit your needs. But the main important thing is to remember that you're working at your VO2 max. And when you work at your VO2 max, maybe you do it for a longer period. Then in the other stages where you're doing a lower intensity, you drop it down a bit just so your body has time to recover. But then again, you hit it hard and you just go back and forth, and over time, I'm telling you now, you'll see the effects. But this is just like a small little video about high intensity training and type 2 diabetes. But for a more in-depth look at the actual benefits, other benefits of doing high intensity training on type 2 diabetes, please refer to the stuff down below. Hope you enjoyed this short video. Yeah, that's it really.